Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's your monthly tarot readings for your North Node for June 2021. And remember, as always, watch two videos. I want you to watch one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. And keep in mind, if you would like a personal consultation reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you're new to the channel and don't know what your North Node is or what it's all about, there's going to be a couple of videos linked in the description box below. So let's get started for this month. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly tarot reading for June 2021 for everybody with their North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table is for the first half of the month, from the 1st to the 15th. And then this spread over here represents from the 16th of the month to the end. So interesting thing that's going on right now is the big theme is I'm feeling like there is this energy between fire and earth energy. Okay, fire and earth energy. And what I'm feeling like is that there is something that's going on right now that has to do with your South Node, which is in Taurus and or the second house. And there could be some things, there's this energy of like kind of stubbornness that could be somewhere. And as I always say, everybody that has, the same North Node sign and house have very similar things they go to or go through, but they go through them to different degrees and in different ways. But essentially, they're the same thing. So whether, like, for example, someone is struggling, like a stay-at-home mom is struggling with an issue at home where she is trying to work with one of her children and they're not listening to her, or a person who is at work who is dealing with maybe someone, an employee that's on one of their teams, let's say they manage, that is not working well with them. You could see it's completely different realms, but it's very similar type energy. Okay, that's what happens when we give these readings. For one person, it might play out in different ways, and it's going to play out to different degrees. But what I'm seeing here is there's an energy of stubbornness and stagnation that, you either feeling, or it's like maybe not wanting to make necessary changes, or kind of moving in like a different direction. The interesting thing is, I think this is a pretty easy fix. So just think about if there's any part of your life this month and every month, okay, if there's ever a place where you feel stuck or it's not moving the way you want or moving forward, ask yourself, okay, in what ways am I approaching this issue in a stubborn way? Like, in what ways can I make changes with my changes within my sphere of influence that can make the situation improve? So, like, for example, it's like, you you come into a problem, and let's say, like, yeah, I think, okay, I'll use an example of, like, because I see there's a piece of wood that's across from here. Okay, we've all had the experience, anybody that's ever, like, tried to drive a nail through a wall, okay, through some wood or whatever, and you need to drive a nail or even tap a nail or a tack in there, and you don't have a hammer handy, and sometimes, we'll, like, try to use something else. We're all guilty of it. Like, we'll use, like, a can or something and try to nail it, and it could be frustrating, as opposed to just, like, stopping and saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to get, like, the right tool. A lot of times in our life, it's like that, where a situation comes up and we try to use a certain blunt way of dealing with it. And it's like, it might have even worked in the past, but it's not working, this time. So if you're ever running into any sort of a stagnating energy or something where there's a problem, just ask yourself, what ways, can I change things? And in what ways am I maybe being stubborn, where I have to, like, tweak things and maybe go into a new direction? And that's where this energy of, the fire energy of wands, I've got, the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands. Okay. This is this is what's going to really help you, is that, when you're feeling that stagnation or wanting to move forward, putting your energy in new directions at different angles is what's going to free things up. Okay. There could be a lot of you that, it could be an energy too, where if you feel unsupported in any way in your life, okay, there is this energy where some of you could feel like you're not being supported, nurtured, taken care of in the way that you need to be. Okay. And that is a legitimate need. But what it is that where the reason that this is happening is, it's that there needs to be this more fiery energy, this energy from the solar plexus, okay, that wants to come up, this, like, third chakra energy, the solar plexus energy, that is going to help you. Because let's say that's happening. For example, you're not feeling nurtured, or you're not feeling taken care of, or you're not feeling supported. Okay. Really look at that and say, okay, is it because, in what ways am I being stubborn? Like, maybe I'm being stubborn. Maybe I have not made this person or people aware of my needs. And I'm just stubbornly saying, well, they should know what my needs are. So it's like, that would be a way of, like, okay, you look at that in a new way, and then you might bring that fire energy up and says, you might get the guts to come up and say to that person or group of people or whatever, I really feel like I could be supported more, or you could put some more effort into nurturing or supporting me, or something like that. You know what I mean? That's just one brief small example of a way where you could, turn that around. This is, like, critical. All the stuff that I talk about in these, like, North Node readings are stuff that is, like, really important in moving forward on your path, because it's not insignificant things. These little things that we tweak can pay off huge in our life. So again, like I said, it could be, what's another example? Let's say that, you are in your work situation. You're not feeling supported. and I wouldn't say nurtured because we don't really get nurtured at work, but I mean, like supported or backed up in some way. It's the same, like, energy, just in a slightly different, spectrum of energy. So you're not feeling like supported, and so like you're sitting there stubbornly like, why don't they don't get it? They don't, and you're not looking at the problem in new ways. In what ways can you make changes? That's fire. It's like, that's what the will is. Like, in what way can you make changes? Or if you're sitting there, with your arms crossed, like, well, okay, I'm waiting for them. That's a stubborn energy that, you don't want to get stuck into. In what ways can you push this forward? And so that's what really the reason this is coming up is because with your South Node in Taurus and or the second house is, stubbornness. Now, stubbornness can be a great thing, at certain times, okay? But sometimes when our South Nodes, with our South Nodes, we tend to, not use the energies of that South Node house and sign in the best way possible. So that's really what you want to do, is forge a new path, ahead. And, you're going to see things like really, really start to open up. So going onto the second half of the month, I do feel like you're going to be able to use this wand energy. And I feel like there could be, in the second half of the month, between the 16th to the end, there could be some sort of a minor conflict that arises. And when I say minor, it could be major. Like it could be a blow up at work, or something where you're going to have to defend your position. Okay, and it's not going to feel very good, because the energy that you're going to be feeling this month, but especially the second half of the month, is you're just going to want to like be comfortable. Like, okay, I just want to like get my world straight around me, get into a comfortable pattern. And so you're going to look at this as a disruption, and it is going to be a disruption, and it's the way you handle it is the way that it's going to resolve in a certain way. So if the best way possible is to use that, fiery energy. However, what you want to do is you don't want to not address whatever this confrontation, battle, or, conflict is. You don't want to like run away from it. But what you want to do is you want to temper yourself, okay? You want to make sure that you are addressing it, but addressing it intelligently and, facing it head on, okay? And it could be like, again, addressing it and then saying your needs. And I think this is coming up for a lot of you because it is getting you to help you to understand the people around you better. Because remember, this is a lifetime for you to not be independent, because your superpower is independence and, moving forward independently. But this is a lifetime for you to merge energies with other people and work with other people, in the sense of, seeing their perspectives also. Okay. And so that's how you want to like temper this. When you come across this, face it with intelligence, with what you need to do. Make sure that you're making your points clear. And again, I think at the end of the day, what this is going to show is that this is going to show that, okay, you can work with people, but you can also stand up for yourself. Because there is sometimes an energy where, someone could say like, working with people means that sometimes you have to, like, let's say fight, what I mean? Like, not necessarily like physical fight, but like you might have to, like, there might be conflict. And that's working with people. It's being able to resolve conflicts, okay? Not walking away from them or not completely destroying the other person, unless rarely that's, necessary in some way, but, like working with them, like being able to just stand up for what you believe in. And so that's where that whole like temperance thing comes on. But I don't want you to feel, because there's an energy here where when you hit this second half of the month and whatever this conflict, don't be burdened by it. Like don't say, like, don't let it burden you. Just deal with it, because the reason the burdening you could feel this burden is because you don't want to deal with it. You just want to be like comfortable. You're like, why do I have to deal with this? But you do, okay? And so just don't be burdened by it, but like deal with it with temperance, and you'll get through it. And the great thing is that if you can deal with this conflict intelligently, with the right use of your will and your force and your personal power, really, it's like a huge stepping stone. I'm seeing for a lot of people this month, a lot of the different North nodes, like it could be like a real game changer in like moving forward. And even though it seems like a lot of work to have to deal with this, it's really going to like pay off in the long run. And you will see this in the months to follow. You will see how well you navigated this month. You're going to see it pay off in the months to follow. So thank you so much for watching, for sharing some time with me, liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you on some more videos. Many blessings.